Hi guys, this is my review for Bride of Chucky leading up to Chucky Season 2, which comes out within a week from yesterday. I'm very excited for it. Go check out my reviews for Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 if you haven't already. Now, this is the side of the Chucky series where, Bride and Seed, these two movies are, more horror comedies and they don't take themselves more seriously. Now, when you look at the other Child's Play movies like Child's Play 2 and 3, you can kind of tell that there's some comedy in it, but you can tell they took themselves really seriously. Like, they knew it was about a killer doll and they had fun with it, but they were also a little bit serious. But in this, they go full-blown comedy, and that works for me because, like I said, I grew up with this franchise, and I'm going to at least enjoy some of them. And most of them are probably going to be some of my favorite horror movies of all time because Child's Play 1, 2, and Bride, they're like one of my favorite horror movies of all time. They're easily one of the best Chucky movies in a while, but I'll I'll do a ranking at the end of this of like all 7 movies and the 2-season TV show, and I'm not going to be including the remake because if I did, it would be in last place. But I'm going off topic. Now on to my positives with this movie. I love the opening to this where Jennifer Tilly, which aka Tiffany Valentine, where she kills the cop and then grabs Chucky and then steals the lighter and then Rob Zombie's living dead girl plays. I really like that, and I'm pretty sure at the time when this movie came out, I think it was in 1998, I think that's when Rob Zombie became like a popular rock star. That's when his career kind of like blew up and a lot of people started to get to know him. I don't know, but I don't really know Rob Zombie's history. But I think this is around the time when he was when he became a famous musician. And I do like a lot of the horror references in this, like the evidence suppository in this, where in this movie in the beginning where the cop he goes in there and you can see like Michael Myers' mask, Freddy Krueger's glove, the chainsaw for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jason Voorhees' hockey mask. There's probably others in there that I didn't notice, but I do like how Don Mancini took influence from Scream, which pretty much got this movie to get made because that was like such a huge hit and a lot of people really liked slashers and horror movies again. And I do like how Don Mancini took that from Scream. And I think the look of Chucky in this movie, Bride and Seed, I think that's my favorite look of Chucky because my Chucky doll, that's exactly what it looks like, and that's always been my favorite looking Chucky. Even when I was a little kid, I would always put on Bride or Seed because I just love the look of that Chucky doll. You can ask my mom; she'll tell you. And Jennifer Tilly, she is awesome in this movie, and I think ever since this movie came out, she's been more known for Tiffany Valentine because she hasn't really done any new projects in a while. And she's kind of like pretty much sold her life to this franchise, but I shouldn't say sold, but she does love this franchise, and she just loves this character, and she loves Chucky. If you watch interviews with her, she'll talk about this franchise, and you can tell that she loves it. And I do like how when Tiffany dies, you could tell, you can't tell, but you can see Bride of Frankenstein playing when Tiffany's watching it, and Bride of Frankenstein was an influence for this movie because David Kirschinger, who designed and bought the rights to the Chucky movies, pretty much him and Don Mancini are like the heart and soul of this franchise. Like he even said that wouldn't it be cool if we made a Bride for Chucky, and then he took took influences from Bride of Frankenstein, which I do like how they put it into this movie. It's a small little thing, but I do like how they put it in here. And speaking of Tiffany's death, I do like it where Chucky just pushes the TV in and she gets electrocuted to death. And I do like how apparently in Don Mancini's original script that was supposed to be Aunt Maggie's death, but I think they just changed it. I think it was because of Tom Holland, because he rewrote Don Mancini's script like a lot. I think he changed that, or maybe they just thought that was a stupid idea and then they just reused it here. I don't really know what they did, but they reused it pretty good in this. And I do like how they go pretty much full-blown comedy because I feel that Chucky works more as a comedy than serious horror. Now, don't get me wrong, Child's Play is a great movie as a serious horror, But when you watch this movie and Seed and some of the Chucky TV series, you could tell that he's more of a comedy guy, but I do like how it goes more serious after a while, like Curse of Chucky, which I will talk about later, later this week. I do like how it goes from serious, a little serious, not so, a little comedy serious, and then it goes comedy, comedy, serious, serious, comedy, serious. I like how they do all that, but for me, the comedy works better. And I do like the Chief's death, where, like, again, like horror references, and he looks like Pinhead, and then later on, he comes back to life, and Chucky has to stab him to death. I think that's one of my favorite kills of this series, not death, what am I talking about, of the series. If it weren't for the little, the character from Child's Play 2 who got his eyeballs replaced with the good guy once, this would have been probably my favorite death of the franchise, but since the death in Child's Play 2 was so awesome, it's probably always going to be my favorite Chucky death. And now on to my negatives. My biggest negative is Jesse and Jade. We watch these characters throughout the entire movie, and they're so annoying. They blame each other for each murders, but they're like, oh, I can't go to the police, I can't leave you because I love you. Make up your minds. Rather, you go to Mexico or leave each other. That's all I gotta say. Because these characters are really dumb, and you just have to see them blame each other throughout this entire movie, which is annoying and it gets repetitive. Like, make up your minds. Dump them, or flee the country and be known as these Bonnie and Clyde people. But they do nothing. And there's a scene where Tiffany and Chucky have sex. It's really awkward. Where you're sitting there, you're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh at this. Like, is this supposed to be funny, or what's going on? Even when I was a kid, I thought it was awkward. I even remember my mom, she's like, oh, cover your eyes for this. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I don't want to see this. It's creepy, it's awkward, and yeah, that's kind of just weird. I don't got a huge problem with it, but I don't like watching it. It's one of my least favorite things. And why is the heart of Damballa on Chucky's corpse? Well, Charles Lee Ray's corpse, whatever the hell you want to call him. Now, when Chucky was gunned down, the heart of Damballa was on him. But if you go back and watch Child's Play, the first Child's Play, you could tell it's definitely not on him. But it's going to be canon, and they had to figure out a way to do this instead of just be like, oh, you need to tell this guy that your guys' names and then all that. But, oh, wait a minute. I actually just remembered that they told them who they actually were in the van. Couldn't Tiffany already transferred her soul into the lady because she kind of told her name? I just now realized that. Oh my god. Well, I don't know. I guess not. Yeah, just screw that premise. We just need a heart of Damballa now. My life is a lie, apparently. But that's all I really have for this movie. Oh, wait. I was still talking about the heart of Damballa thing. Yeah. The heart of Damballa is on Chucky's corpse. When he was gunned, if you die and you get put in a coffin, they would have taken that thing off. And they would have taken it for evidence. Because anything on a wanted criminal who's killed 30 plus people, within maybe plus, I don't know how many years they do it in the Chucky TV series, but yeah, they would have taken that off of him and scanned it for evidence. But I guess not. I guess the cops were like, oh, just keep it on there. No one cares. Whatever, I guess. But that's all I really have to say about Bride of Chucky. This is easily one of my favorite Chucky movies, and it is one of my favorite in the franchise, and this is a movie I do recommend that you go out and buy it and put it and add it to your collection. This movie won't be for everybody. Some people say this is too goofy, that it's not as fun as the other movies, but for me, I have a lot of fun with it, and this is a movie that I love rewatching, and this is a movie I always have a lot of fun watching. But if you guys enjoyed this review, hit the like button. If you loved it, hit the subscribe button and bell notifications so you will get notified for my latest videos. But until my next video, take care.